The Connections podcast is sponsored by Cheyenne Video, the electric and solar specialist, and Elevate Studios. With special thanks to our Patreon sponsors, Pro Bros with Nick and Dina Inglet, Gabriel Piña with Piña Business Services, Desiree Lopez with Growley Bear Bakery, Melissa Munoz with Majestic Butterfly Beauty Salon, and Angel Cruz with Toilets on the Go.
What's up, everybody? It's Landon Medina with Connections, the electric and solar specialist here. And we got our first honk. Tonight we got special guest Richard Johnson on our show. Richard, you want to tell us where we're at?
Yes, this is the Clark Hose Fire Bell. I fundraised for this in 2017 and 2018. Got these two pillars raised here, and then got the bell relocated from Johnson Pool over here in front of fire station number 2.
So, Richard, tell me a little bit about why you did this.
Cause I'm bored. Like, I have like crazy amounts of energy I always have. I don't know. I fidget a lot. I'm like, I can't stay still. I get super bored, and if I think too much, I get depressed, and so I have to be continually busy doing something. And so people always whisper in my ear like, hey, let's do this. And so I start doing whatever, because I don't really come up with ideas. People just tell me they want to see stuff done, and I'm like, all right, let's roll.
Let's do it. What got you started in helping the community?
The skate park. When I was 15, I did my first skateboard contest in Holiday Park, and so I got, after nothing happened and it went off super smooth, and at 15 years old I had no sponsors, no money. I just had the kids bring their ramps and stuff to the park, and we just had this contest, and because we had no sponsors, we charged $3 per entry fee, and then there was no second place, so first place got the till. And so that's how we did our prizes, and then I learned how easy it was. And then when the skate park got built in 1989, I was there when they showed us the initial concepts, and then I stayed with the skate park to this day pretty much. And then we went through different phases, building things in like 96, and then the Clay Sturman edition when our friend got killed in 2000, 2001, and then in 2004, 2005, or 2004 through 2006 is when we did the pools and the stair sets and everything there. And that was what I got really involved in, because the city finally let me cut loose and fundraise, so like they didn't in 1999, 2000. And so we raised $500,000 in 2 years, and so so that's how I got known in the community, because I was panhandling even then. And so we raised like $75K, and then with all the matches, grants, and everything else, and we ended up with $560,000.
Jeez, I was just, when you were dropping those dates, I was like, I wasn't alive in 89.
Yeah.
To kindergarten in 96.
Yeah, most people don't know that I'm 46 years old. They because I don't act it, I don't dress like it, for sure. Yeah. This is the stress of city council. My beard was as black as yours until I was in office, and then that's where this all came from.
That's not the age. That's the office. That did that one. Hey, so a little bit, I guess, about you when you're not raising funds or running for council.
I don't know. I'm involved in a couple of book clubs. I'm an avid reader, and obviously if you're going to run for office, you have to know how to read and decipher language and things, because a lot of it's legalese, and there's so much documentation that you have to digest in order to know it. So I've always been an avid reader. I wanted to be a Civil War historian when I was growing up, so I read tons and tons of books on the Civil War, and then I toured almost 1,700 to 2,000 different cities in the throughout the South and the North and everything in the Civil War. So I did that, and then I got offered a job with Thrasher magazine to be a skateboard photographer, and so I got back into the skateboarding in 2000, and then me and my buddies went to almost another 1,000 skate parks on the West Coast. I was East Coast for the Civil War, and then on the West Coast went to over 1,000 skate parks. And so I've been all over the nation. I've been all over the world. I love to travel. I love meeting people. And so I travel, I read.
That's perfect. There's something I can read for everybody who's doubting that. I just started investing a lot more time recently, probably within the past couple years, of actually reading a lot and investing in myself. You know, because before I really wouldn't, but when you start investing in yourself, I believe that's when stuff really starts taking off. Okay, so coming into this election here, if elected, what are your big goals?
Well, pretty much it's the same as last time. The only reason I'm really running this time is when I took a break, because when Great Lakes closed in 2018, I couldn't run for office because I needed to find another full-time job. So I couldn't run in 2018. So I left office in January of 2019. I actually found a full-time employer. They signed off on everything. But in 2019, so many people, you know, pre-COVID, would come up to me at all these events because I attend everything, and people would come up and they're like, "Oh, I really miss your voice on council," and they actually just felt a kindred spirit with me that I would talk with them, and it wasn't, you know, suits and everything else. It was like everybody else. It was just like the rando Joes.
One of the
yeah,
guys.
yeah, and so. So I ended up just like kicking it with a bunch of people. I met like thousands of people when I was on city council the last time, and people just started saying, you know, they wanted me to run for mayor, but I don't want to do that. And so now I'm back for city council, and it was pretty much the community's request. Like, can you come back? Like,
That's gotta be a good feeling.
yeah, I mean, it's just like, they're like, you make everybody real nervous, and it makes a lot of them happy.
And we love it.
Yes.
We love watching that. That's where, you know, part of the goal for this connections thing is, especially with our podcast, is just give the people behind the camera a chance to see you as a person. So,
Right.
And I know that you give that the people that, you know, every day, but a lot of some of these other candidates that we've been interviewing, you know, are seeing people see them just as that political figure,
Right.
not as who they are.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, I'm erratic, and I'm way unconventional. I'm obnoxious. I'm loud. You know, I smoke cigarettes. I drink a lot more than I should. I go to tons and tons of concerts. You know, I'm always like, I'm huge into I'm currently on the Art Cheyenne board. Okay. You know, and then I'm pretty much by proxy on the Rooted in Cheyenne board for planting trees. So I'm always like someplace doing something. So, you know, if it's arts or environmental, you know, I plant flowers downtown and I do trees and all kinds of stuff. So, and then I'm a huge advocate for like the homeless population and alcohol and drug abuse. I mean, you name it, and I'm usually the person that, I've slept 3 times. Yeah, 3 times I've slept twice in a box, and then I was the largest fundraiser because it was for homeless awareness. So yeah, I actually did sleep in the depot in a cardboard box for two years, and I was their largest fundraiser because I had people.
For 2 years?
No, I didn't sleep in the box for 2 years.
Like,
No, it was 2 nights. It was one night
Okay.
each year,
Okay.
but yeah. But I've done it like 3 times. So.
I was like, man, you've been homeless long
No,
time.
I haven't been homeless, but like I know the advocacy aspect of it, and so it was all for a fundraiser, and so it's no big deal. I mean, anybody that's lived in Wyoming is camped. You know, I've slept in the back. I've passed out in the back of tailgates, you know, that hurt worse than the concrete down at the depot.
Yeah. Well, I've spent a couple nights when I was just starting out in life a little homeless, so
Well, that's why you have people like me, is because I take care of Piña shelter like nobody's business,
Yeah,
and Family Promise. Family Promise is more for homeless families, where Piña is more of the individuals, you know, that just need a step up in life. You know, they just need a place to crash and everything. So
that's really cool. That's stuff that our community. Yeah, I think you do a good job at bridging the gap on what our community has available and getting that information to our citizens.
Yeah.
Because a lot of citizens, I know me in this past 6 weeks, I've learned more about any city. I've learned more about Cheyenne than any city. And a lot of these things I didn't even know that we had.
Like, I'm not old boy, but I am, like, I have a lot of networking capabilities within the city. Most of my networking happens with a lot more blue collar, you know, and I like with the splash pad and stuff, you see me venture into the white collar because I'm a huge advocate of the water cooler, like, because I do fundraisers on Facebook or whatever, and then all the like grunts will see what I'm doing, and so they're like kicking down on Facebook and everything there, and then they go to work on Monday, and then the mid-level management's like, oh yeah, I did that too, and then the upper management's like, what are you guys talking about? And they're like, oh, we donated to Richard's thing, and they're like, oh, well, maybe our company wants to get involved. you know, for larger donations. So like the grunts will donate, you know, your 10 and 15 and $50 donations, and then all of a sudden you'll find out that their businesses are like, we want in on this too, and then that's where you start getting your $1,000, $5,000, $10,000 donations. So it all works. So I completely believe in the water cooler.
Dude, I might have to have you raise funds for me, just for the personal, for the.
Yeah, I don't do that.
Fund.
Okay, a lot of people think
Man.
No, a lot of people think, and that's a miscommunication with me, is a lot of people actually think that I like assist individuals, and I don't. There's a reason I support the nonprofits, because a lot of people write me and ask me to like support or share their GoFundMes for their personal family, and I don't even know these people, and then all of a sudden you find out 10 months later that it was used for fraudulent purposes. So I never really pursue individuals. I strictly help nonprofits because they're already registered through the Secretary of State. They have their 501c3s, they have their recognition. So everything I do is always, it's like, I can't help your family in their moment of need, but I do help Piña, I do help Family Promise, I do help all these different agencies. So if you need assistance, then I know where to point you at, but I do not share, not directly, you know, assisting families. Sorry about that.
I was pretty excited about that GoFundMe, especially when you started talking numbers.
No, I mean, I can raise tons and tons of money, but I don't even raise it for myself. Like, I'm just like, I'm pretty simple. I don't really require a whole lot. Obviously, you can tell by my
softball just to rip at it. I'm trying to be
No, you can.
It's me. In a box for 2 years. I'm pretty simple. I mean.
No, I am. I don't really own a lot of stuff. So.
But look, you got to enjoy what you have while working for what you want.
Yeah, you don't really need to own anything when you're out on the town all the time.
It's not like you need a TV or something.
No, I know. I don't even have the internet at my house.
Really?
No.
Well, yeah, because you just use everybody else's.
Yeah, pirate it, yeah.
So, if you could change one thing in Cheyenne in the next decade, what would it be?
I don't know yet.
Okay.
I mean, it hasn't been proposed to me.
I told you, I don't think of this.
Like, I mean, really, the reason you see me so strong on amenities is because ever since I was in high school and before I was even in high school, everybody always dreamt of leaving here. And so I'm always like, a lot of people that I went to school with write me still on Facebook that don't even live here anymore, and they're super stoked on what I do for Cheyenne because I actually stayed. And so there's that thing where it's like, I always say that our greatest export is our kids. And so I always try to make things that families would want to do here. And so that's why you see me do the splash pad and the universal playground and the skate park and other things like that, is because in order to make our city attractive, we're going to actually, in order to get these jobs to come in, the city's going to have to look attractive, and the families want amenities for their families to do. That's how they're going to come. So, and that's not going to change with me, because that's been the way Cheyenne's always been. Everybody has a small town mentality. They want to go on to greener pastures in larger cities where there's more opportunities. But I realize that we're not going to have greater opportunities unless we have something that actually entices them to come.
But yeah, and Cheyenne's special because it's set up like right outside of a metro area.
Right.
So if we can make it appealing enough for these kids to stay here, I completely agree.
Yeah,
what about a rec center?
That one has been tried a couple of times, and on the tax ballots and everything, and I mean, it's been killed 3 times, and it's super hard to raise that kind of money because it's like around $7 million, and so it's kind of hard to build even if you have the land and everything already there. It's just really hard. And then because of more of my libertarian views, I hate having the government kind of run entities when, you know, you have Gold's Gym, you have Smart Sports, you have Fitness One, you have all these different things that offer, and then, you know, you already have the aquatic center that the city does run. So I kind of hate taking away from, you know, private sector for more of that. So, I mean, that's why I'm hit and miss with the rec center. It's like, would it be nice, but would the city actually effectively manage it? We wanted to start a co-op where if the city actually put it on the ballot, but the YMCA ran it, like they would staff it, they would take care of all the insurance parts for their employees, where basically the city paid for the structure and then the YMCA would actually assimilate or take over. Yeah.
Okay, I didn't even know that was possible.
Yeah, yeah. There's all kinds of different ways you can make things work. But I'm really not in favor of the city, like, you know, doing stuff that the private sector.
You think that the private sector would be better served with the rec center?
Right, and so you just create partnerships. You can still work with the city, but the city should not be the end all for the project. You know, if I don't win on Tuesday or in November, you know, it's not like I'm not going to be active. I left City Council in January of 2019, and I've still raised tons and tons of money for whatever, and so it doesn't, you know, if I win, I win. If I lose.
Your community engagement is why you're on here. In the
right, exactly. Yeah, so.
I mean, you know, it wasn't because you're a former city councilman. It's because of what you do for Cheyenne.
Yeah, I'm busy, that's for damn sure.
Yeah, oh, I can only imagine. So, everybody, it's Landon Medina with Connections, here with Richard Johnson. Thank you guys for tuning in.